Welcome back to the Hot 7 Nightly News on St. Lucia's first and only 100% digital station. St. Lucia's Independence celebration will continue for the entire year of 2019. Hot 7 News spoke with Archbishop Robert Rivas to get his take on the celebrations, and he assures that the nation will stand to greatly benefit from a greater infusion of prayer and spirituality into all things national. Solange Alfred reports. The recent military parade was a grand spectacle of precision and uniformity. The parade, which has received great reviews, gave officers and uniformed groups an opportunity to show off the many hours of hard work and training put into pulling off a synchronized march. Archbishop Robert Rivas was full of praise. However, he says the inclusion of prayer and spirituality should also be included in the state's affairs.
Maybe a little prayer sometime will do a country no harm, and probably that could be considered, but I don't know how they'd fit that into a program for a military parade. But
do you think we need more prayers, though, for our country?
The whole world needs prayers, and all of us ought to be praying constantly for our families, for our schools, for our nation, for all the needs of our country, especially for people who are vulnerable and need help,
Meanwhile, the Archbishop also took the time to heap praises on the production of the St. Lucia story. He says the talented participants represent the hope and future of the nation.
When I came to the St. Lucia story, and I thought it was beautifully done, a lovely record of the history of our people and the development of this country, and I saw future and hope in it, and it's so nice to see so many people participating, especially bringing out the talent of our nation and the culture, emphasizing the culture and our history. That was lovely, and I thought there was a lovely atmosphere here last night, and today as well. There was seriousness, there was humor, there was something very nice and different. I suppose 40 years you have to look for something creative. I thought the groups were very creative, and especially those who put on the special exercises.
Archbishop Rivas says the importance of prayer on a national level cannot be overemphasized. He's of the opinion that it will aid in revitalizing a godly spirit among the people of St. Lucia. Springwood and Leeward Brewery Limited partnered with the Grocery Vendors Association to provide customer service and sales training to help improve the overall image of the Grocery Friday night street party. Representatives of the brewery made a special visit to the community last week to host the workshop, announce future plans with the community, and to present much-needed gifts to the Vendors Association.
The Groseley Friday Night Street Party has been a cultural staple and popular party destination for over 30 years for tourists and locals alike. The weekly event has become a way of life and sole means of earning a living for the community of Groseley and its many vendors. As the main supplier of beverages, the Windward and Leeward Brewery Limited hosted a customer service and sales training with the Groseley Vendors Association last week, an event which culminated in the donation of 30 brand new locally crafted vending carts for members of the Vendors Association.
For me, walking through Groseley on a Friday night, seeing the vendors with the trays, some of them a little broken down, I thought, how can we come in as a company and help our customers look good, help them sell more beer? And this is where the idea of this vending cart came about, that we provide every vendor in Groseley for a vending cart. Same one like this, it's new, hopefully they maintain it and they will be able to look better and be a better brand and therefore uplift Groseley Friday night.
According to Henry, the training was geared to helping customers grow and develop as a brand. Mayor of the Groseley Constituency Council, James Edwin, says the training and card donation by WLBL was definitely a step in the right direction.
We've been trying to impress on the vendors. It's not just selling beers. I mean, we actually not selling a product, and it's known internationally. So when people come here, they expect certain standards. Simple things like when they purchase a beer, for you to tell them you have no change. I mean, this is unacceptable. So those are the kind of customer service and presentation that we've been trying to inculcate in our vendors.
The customer service training and vendor card donation were well received by all stakeholders present and was only the first part to a much larger initiative. Wynwood and Leeward Brewery Limited also announced plans to improve the image of the community through the construction of a children's park near the Grosley Library to be completed in 2019. Marlon Clovis, Hot 7 Nightly News.
Band launch season is sweeping the nation with big bands coming out in full swing. Niche bands are also carving their name into the carnival landscape. Taboo Carnival Band is looking to showcase the elements of the world, but with a Chinese spin.
Carnival 2019 is shaping up to be an amazing display of color, costumery, and a fairy tale show of interesting themes. Throwing their hat into the ring is Taboo Carnival Band with their recent virtual video launch of their costumes. Band leader for Taboo Carnival Band, Jean-Claude Lagon, says what sets the band apart from its competitors is their passion to keep their production for St. Lucia Carnival 2019 a local affair.
One of our key pillars from inception, we want to really be a champion for local commerce and work with persons who produce great quality products in St. Lucia. So it's not just for the costumes but also the road experiences as well. So from our caterers to our liquor providers, we work as best as we can with persons right here in St. Lucia. Taboo is really a hybrid band that wants to place emphasis on both the party experience as well as traditional mass. So we do have the pretty mass components with the shiny stones and the exotic cuts of the costumes and so on, but we also want to keep it on the traditional side and really show the creativity of mass and sticking to a theme and portraying a theme.
He says that the band's 2019 carnival theme, Wu Zing, looks to explore the elements of life through an oriental viewpoint.
For St. Lucia Carnival 2019, Taboo Carnival Band is portraying Wu Zing, Chinese tales of the great elements. Initially, we actually had a voting decision amongst the managers of the band and we settled on the elements, but then we felt that it was, so bland. It had no vibes to it, and we're all about vibes. So we did some research and we figured that the Chinese spin on the elements is rather interesting, and it focuses on the harmonic balance of the elements and how they can coexist or destroy one another. So we figured, okay, this is something that's really interesting and something that pushes the boundaries in terms of how creatively people might think the elements can be portrayed. So we ran with it, and thus we settled on the theme, and the costumes now speak for themselves. People are really wowed by what we've produced so far, and again what we've produced right here in St. Lucia.
The Taboo experience promises to be one that allows revelers the chance to enjoy themselves without having to burn a hole in their pockets to play mass.
We've actually released our prices this morning. Our costume prices range from $950 and we go up to $1,700. But of course, and we do have revelers who want to again go the extra mile, the sky is the limit with Taboo. We make dreams a reality.
Jean-Claude notes that the official opening of the Taboo Mass Camp, where interested revelers will have the chance to register, opens on Friday, 1st March from 5 p.m. at JLU Atelier in Latok Castries. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solaj Alfred.
Thank you very much, Solange. Sports News with Tennis in Glasgow is up next.